Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today. We have another entrepreneur that we would love for you to meet. Her name is Miss Yvette C. Owens, and she is a business ambassador. And she is also the founder of Destiny Speak. So I would like to welcome Miss Yvette with us today. Thank you, Miss Yvette, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, Juanita.
Thank you so much. So I have the first question. What encouraged you to name your business Destiny Speak?
Well, actually, it was given to me by God to just, and that's where the name came from. I believe, though, I have spoken into so many people's lives, into organizations and things like that, and especially where it seems like things are dormant. People are feeling like they've really been unstuck and they don't know how to make the change from where they are to where they really want to be or where they foresee. Sometimes they don't even know that is more out there. There's more out there for them or the organization. So I believe it was given to me because I have the ability to see into an organization or an individual what they can't see, or I believe what they do see. Because sometimes we see things, and if you talk to the wrong people around you, they're like, "Yeah, no, you can't do that." No, if you see it, I can. I believe that you can see it, and I'm willing to walk with you to have your destiny speak.
Wow, that's powerful. And you're right, because a lot of people don't know it. It comes to them, and then some kind of way someone will talk them out of it, of their destiny,
Mhm.
or they talk themselves out of it. Because sometimes we can be our worst enemy. So
Absolutely.
awesome. I love that Destiny Speaks. So now whenever we see her name anywhere, we know the meaning behind the Destiny Speak. Now, how long have you been in business?
Officially for about 11 years, working on the concept. Really, when you're given something and it's like, okay, what is this supposed to be? What do
Uh-huh.
you want it? What do you want it to be? So started out really helping people who had business ideas to evolve, and then it evolved to more of my niche, which is where people are again in those difficult situations, leaders who need to understand the principles of change leadership and or how to get out of those difficult scenarios that seem that it's going to overtake you. Or so I moved from really helping entrepreneurs, and I can do that, to more in-depth, the deeper things about business, which is why the term business ambassador, I believe, was given to me again by God. Because it's like once you're in business, there's many people who can help you establish your business, get it off the ground. But when you're in that day to day and
Yeah,
you need those various strategies,
yeah.
and to really get in the depth of those strategies, what do they mean? What's the right move? What's the right next move? That's where you need a business ambassador who comes with or you need the business ambassador, let me say that, who
There you
comes
go.
with a lot of diplomacy. I have a part of my platform is the Diplomat Chronicles, where I share those really intricate things around how do you really approach what you need to approach with the people across the table in a diplomatic way. Or how do you go even about transitioning your organization in a diplomatic way without damaging where you are, keeping the production where you're going, keeping your reputation intact. So that
Hmm.
takes diplomacy. That's what Diplomatic Chronicles, which is a part of Destiny Speak, is all about.
Wow. And even speaking about the corporate world, you are also an author, and you wrote a book, corporate Conquering Corporate Enemies.
Yes, I have
Yes.
it here. Oh,
And it is available. It is available on her website. So just go to destinyspeak.com, and you can also click the link on her website that says the chronicle. Is it the Chronicles? Is that how it is on your website?
it's it's Conquering Corporate Enemies, and you go into the diplomat. There's a tab there where you can
Yes.
see all the store.
Yes.
And you have this book. This is the actual book, Conquering Corporate Enemies: Mind, Personalities, and Situations. And there is a workbook So
Mhm.
you not only go through and this is the scenarios that I've lived through, some of my coaching clients who I've scenarios that they've lived through. And the whole objective, I was asked by a gentleman not too long ago, what do you want people to take away from this book?
Mhm.
And really it's like understanding that leadership matters,
Yeah.
first of all. And so therefore we should seek to be the very best leader that we can.
Mhm.
And then there's two, that those who are under leadership, you own a part of your own destiny. Because sometimes I think, and I know many years ago, people came into corporate and felt that people were going to help them move from one level to the other. And
Yep.
then it just doesn't turn out that way.
Mm-mm.
And so you have to own your own destiny to allow your own destiny to speak,
Yeah.
as well as that leader still owes you some guidance and some direction, because they're in meetings, they're in circles that they hear what's happening in the organization, and they need to share that as
Yeah.
it pertains to the skill sets that you have, so that it can help you move forward too. So I really want, one, people to understand leadership matters. Two, whether, and so therefore we should be better leaders. And then three, if you are not in an official leadership capacity where you are leading a team of people, and I say that very intentionally, because we
Yeah.
all are leaders.
Yes.
But you're more an individual contributor, considered an individual contributor. You have the ability and must learn how to navigate your own destiny.
Yeah.
And that's what I look to help people with.
That's great. That's awesome. And your book is good. I really
Thank
love your book. I'm telling you guys, I've been in the corporate world for almost over 20 years. And when I read your book, it was almost like reading the Bible. I was highlighting and drawing under. I love to write in my books, because
you.
I always like to go back and reference to them. And your book spoke to me in so many ways, on so many levels, because
Mhm.
I was able to relate. And especially for a woman of color, it touched me, I mean, tremendously. And it helped
Thank
me
you.
as well to look at things in a certain light. So definitely purchase her book. It's and the workbook. You can get a group of people together, and 5 or 10 people, and have a conversation over the book, and discuss any questions that's in the workbook. I suggest that you purchase that.
Yeah, and it's interesting that you mentioned that you felt like it was reading the Bible, because I start the book right off. This is who's writing this book. I'm a woman of faith. I'm a Black
Mhm.
woman. I was raised in Baltimore, Maryland. So and I lived through the Martin Luther King riots and all that kind of stuff. So this
Mhm.
is the perspective in which I come from.
Mhm.
And so faith is a big part of it. And honestly, if you don't understand your identity from that perspective, or from a greater perspective than you and what you contribute to your life, then that's where people can come in and eat you up and try to define you. And then you're like, okay, well, that must be the next wind and wave that's happening. So let me just succumb to that. No, you have to be secure in who you are, be okay with that,
Yep.
and committed to it, and then live it out and discover where that journey is going to take you, because it is going to take you to a phenomenal place
Yes.
if you just be secure in it, right?
Yes. Yes. A beautiful place. I'm telling you, stress-free place.
Right.
Yes, definitely gotta know your identity. And do you have any other services or products that you do provide, or is it just your books? Because you have 2 books.
Right. And since we've last talked, I've released, I was a part of another project that actually went international best-selling. So I wrote a piece that was in that book. That book is Self Empowerment Reset, Our Conversations with the Divine. And so that book again went international best-selling. So I'm pretty proud of that book. And my third book, because the 2 books, is No Bosses Allowed, Lead to Serve and Transform. And I know we all love to say, hey, I bossed up, I'm the boss lady, and all that kind of stuff. But many times people are leaving corporate because they didn't like their boss.
That's right.
And
That's right.
so um, be careful in using that boss, be the leader.
Yeah.
And that book, No Bosses Allowed, Lead to Serve and Transform, it contrasts boss and leaders in 11 different ways. And
Wow.
I've actually recently done a workshop. So you asked what services do I provide? I'm a speaker. I'm happy to come in and be a keynote speaker, run workshops. I did a workshop, hosted a workshop in October called Power Pure Pursuit, where we really talked about how do you go after the power that you know you're supposed to bring to the world, but in the purest way. Because sometimes we go after the power and it gets to our heads, it gets to our hearts, and
Mm-hmm.
we get jacked up. And in the midst of that, we
Yep.
jack other people up.
Yes. And that is so true.
And
So true.
so I have that book. I do so I'm a speaker, workshop facilitator. I'm a consultant, so I can come in and assess where you are. If you are feeling like, hey, we just need somebody else to come in and look at this, I can do that. I have done that. And yeah, and then I coach one-on-one, and I coach individuals. I coach teams.
Wow.
Um, been asked to coach teams who have coming together and they really weren't feeling each other.
Yeah.
And so a leader asked me, can you come in and help us really learn each other and get the teams more focused on what we're supposed to be doing as opposed to this back and forth things, and get over the fact that we have to come together.
And see, that's a good thing too, when you mention that, because for the company that one of the companies that I've worked with, they started doing a lot of diversity meetings, and which I think is great. But for me, I like to see more diversity.
Right.
And so to have someone as yourself that's been in that field for, you have that experience, you have that knowledge that you can bring to the table as well. And to let someone like myself, say I didn't know you and you were to be a person that's leading a diverse meeting within a corporate world or non-corporate world, and I see you come on the screen, I would honestly, for me, I would be like, okay, I would be able to breathe and say,
Mhm.
finally, someone can touch on some of my points, possibly, but in a professional way, of course. Um, and I think that too is a powerful piece, because if we're going to offer diversity, we really truly need to see diversity.
Absolutely. And the more important thing and more powerful thing is that if that bringing me in and allowing me to help your team and yourself, or even on that one-on-one coaching, how do I get past this? I just spoke to a client yesterday, and she's like, how do I move past this place that I'm in? I'm thinking about these things. How do I really approach it? You giving her that voice, or giving you the voice.
Mhm.
So showing up in all of my authenticity in a workshop facilitation or as a speaker now says, now you have a voice too as a person of color, right? And so now you can be free. And I love the workshops because I love to get the engagement. I love to have people really work through and really realize different perspectives and be able to voice what they've been holding in for so long.
Yeah.
And that then allows everyone to be able to start to apply the change leadership principles, the change leadership practices, so that you can get to a better place.
Great. Well, everyone, Miss Yvette's information is at the bottom, her email address. We have her website. Definitely, if you want to inquire more about what it is that she offers, definitely reach out to her and have that conversation with her. She will definitely guide you in the right direction. I've Me and Miss Owens, we have been, I mean, how long has it been? At least probably 2 years.
Yeah.
I want to say at least 2 years now. Um, One thing about Black Wall Street Online, our goal is to help, assist entrepreneurs get their businesses out there on a platform that's positive and allow entrepreneurs to have their voice. Of course, because sometimes in social media, it can become so like boom, 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 and then you get lost, almost like email. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Because once you give somebody your email, you go from 1 to 1,000, and then it's like, yeah. So
Yeah.
this is an opportunity for you to get your voice out there, get your business out there, whatever it is that you do, especially when it's pouring back into humanity, into people. Definitely, check us out. Now, I do have one more question. Um, as an entrepreneur, do you pour back into your community?
Absolutely. So I one serve in ministry in my community. So, and we do tons of community work. I'm always looking at the younger people. So, and when they come, they know what I do. When they come to me, I'm always pouring back into them.
Mhm.
And then I most recently, so I had a nonprofit organization where that's exactly what I did. We had motivators and achievers. Those who were helping were motivators. Those who were being helped were achievers. It was very project oriented methodology, if you will. So they had to come with a goal that they wanted to achieve. What do they want to achieve, and by when? And it really wasn't a lot of talk about, oh, I didn't make it because of this or that. No, it was like, what do you want to achieve? How do you want to get it? When you want to get it done?
Yep.
Okay, you missed this timeline. All right, it is what it is. When are you going to get it done now?
Yes.
So not wallowing in all that drama and
Mhm.
stuff, because a lot of times that's where we get stuck,
Yes.
because we like the concept of what we want to build, but
Mhm.
we are not about doing the work to build it. And
Yes.
so, okay, it happened. Now, when are you going to get it done? Now, one of my positions in that organization, and even when working with people, is like, okay, we've missed 3 deadlines for the same thing. Maybe this is not the right time for you.
Yes, yes, yes,
Because
yes.
I'm still doing me as I'm helping you.
Mhm.
So that lasted for several years. I am a part of my family's organization. We've created a school
Okay.
called the Donald W.T. Carey School of Creatives. And in doing that, we are obviously helping families who are not happy with the current traditional school system
Yes.
really have an environment for their young people. And so I'm the vice president of the board for there. And then most recently, I just joined um, a national association for African Americans in insurance. And so to be able to give back in that, because I've spent 40 some years in the insurance industry, and now being able to give back to those professionals, those younger professionals coming up. So yeah, I always look forward to time to be able to pour back in the community, help as I'm building. I think it's important, and it helps us to keep a pulse on what's happening,
Yeah.
so we know what services people really need, right?
Awesome. Now, as far as your school, is that only where you're located, or is it video based, or
It is a hybrid. We're still
okay,
working out some of the um, logistics and things. We've run various programs,
okay,
um, uh, which would be considered like extracurricular programs, like a mentoring program. We had
okay,
Behold Girl Behold 2, which was for girls 7 through 14. And I ran a leadership mastermind called I Am the Answer for
okay,
teenagers 14 to 18. And then I pour back in weekly with my podcast called Company Culture with Yvette C.
okay,
Owens,
okay.
where I'm sharing the behaviors that really define organizations so that leaders understand, and even a person, right? We need to
Mhm.
understand that our behaviors define us.
Yes.
So I bring that to the conscious awareness of everyone so
Mhm.
that we can be intentional about how we want to be perceived, because how we make somebody feel outweighs our products and our
Yep.
services. They
That is so
remember
true.
how you made them feel far greater than whatever you're trying to sell them.
And that is so true. I had a conversation with another one of our members, and we were talking about that because a lot of people, as far as businesses, entrepreneurs, a lot of people they do shirts, they do custom shirts. I'm gonna use that as an example because that's what we were talking about.
Yep.
And she said, she joined, she came on board, and then there's another couple of other people on board. But her and I was having this conversation, and I said to her, I said, people, they reach out to Black Wall Street Online. And then when they hear, oh, well, you already have a shirt business. And I'm like, yeah, okay, what's that supposed to mean?
Right.
Because business one is going to be different from business two, business three, and business four. Because one is going to push a different way than another one. And her and I, in our conversation, I said, you can have a crappy shirt, but a wonderful attitude. And then someone else can have a beautiful shirt and a crappy attitude. And I said, me personally, from a consumer side, I will buy the crappy shirt because I'm pouring into that individual with the mindset of positivity. So, and then another thing, some people push their business and some people don't.
Right.
So the more you push, the more you're going to be out there. So it doesn't matter. And not even just in Black Wall Street Online. It's just in general. Don't, just because Miss Yvette is a business ambassador doesn't mean that, well, she's a business ambassador now, so I can't be one.
Right.
Man, Miss Yvette, if you can service billions of people in America, goodness, I give my hats off to you. But I tell people only one person can't do everything.
You bring
So
up a really good point, and you brought up several good points. So let me quickly hit on them. One is our buyers today, shoppers today, people who are looking for services and products are very conscious oriented.
yes.
They're looking into the organization. They're looking into the person. Who are you? What do you do? What do you really believe? Where are you reinvesting that money?
Yes.
And so I know that even some of the people who've left some of the larger corporations because they found out that, oh, wait, they're supporting this thing, which is really hurting these people in this community. Yeah, I don't want to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And so what your character is the second thing I want to mention. It matters.
Yes.
Your character absolutely matters. And if people don't feel that you are accurate, that you are integrous, that you're thorough, that you're going to stand behind what you say, then they will make a different choice.
Yes.
Now, some people don't care. They just got the product or whatever.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't you have a great product and service and great character?
Exactly.
So that people can make conscious choices around. Now that's a full package. We need to get to presenting a full package. And so the third point is everything that I'm talking about around how to make changes, how to make those more difficult decisions like you're talking about. I've built the company, I've launched, I've opened it up, but how are you dealing day to day? That's what the business ambassador comes in. Once you're in those trenches and you run into those bumps and roads and things and you need strategy and things like that, that's where you need to call me into so that I can help you in those moments where our business needs to shift. We need to be able to create a more healthy environment where everyone in this organization can thrive. And it is possible, and it is very absolutely necessary because people will choose someplace else, and people are hurting too much on the outside for them to come into a place day to day and still be hurting even more.
Yes, that is, oh gosh, that is so true. So true. I'm telling you guys, Miss Yvette, she is a woman of her word. And this is another reason why I encourage to do the videos that we do, because I want people to see the genuine that's coming through, because you can see if someone is genuine about what it is that they're doing. And Miss Yvette is genuine. And like woman of faith, regardless of where you are in your faith, you may not even have faith, but she is a woman and she's going to stand firm in what she believes, because it's all about doing the right thing. I have her Instagram information. Definitely follow her, just in case if something comes up and you're in her area where she might be promoting or speaking, because she does do speaking engagements. She just had one recently, I believe.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I speak on people's podcasts. I'm happy to come and speak for your organization. Um, whether, and again, whether it's corporate or you may have a ministry or you may have a community event that you want someone to come in, reignite, re-engage, and have your people run with the vision. And that's what I look to do. I even have a program called Reignite, Re-engage, and Run because, and I was asked by a local minister to come and work with his leadership team around because they lost, COVID took a lot out of people.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
they lost their steam and he could see it happening. So
Yeah.
I built that program around that time, but it's applicable to any time because every now and then we lose our steam, we lose
Yeah.
our hope, we start focusing too much on what's going on around us instead
Yeah.
of what's inside of
What's
us
inside?
because
Yeah.
we have what's inside of us
Hmm.
to change what's going on around us. And that's why I teach people the principles. I teach leaders the principles of change leadership and the practices. You have what's in you to
Yeah.
change it. You just need to know how to do it and do it effectively. And then once you know how to do it, you can do it often, right? And where you need someone to come in and help you do that, I'm the person for you.
There you go. There you go. Definitely check out Miss Yvette. Miss Yvette, I want to say thank you again for taking time out to
Thank
just speak
you.
with the people and offer your services. I will be sharing all of her information in the description below the video. And comment, ask any questions that you may have regards to anything that she may have mentioned, and definitely follow her on Instagram, and keep in contact with her. Let her know you watched her and listened to her interview. So thank you again. And
You're welcome.
if anyone outside, if you have a business, you would like to promote your business on our platform, definitely reach out to us. You can visit our website, say you would like to have an interview, and let us know what it is that you would like to do. We want to help you with that. So, Miss Yvette, thank you and have a great day.
You're welcome. And if anyone wants to catch my podcast, it's on SoundCloud, it's on YouTube at Destiny Speak, and it's also on LinkedIn. If you look me up, Yvette
So,
C. Owens on LinkedIn, it airs there as well,
okay,
as well as Facebook. So,
okay. I'm definitely gonna be sharing all the information in the description. So,
all right. Thank you
all
for
right.
doing what you do in the community. I'm glad to be a part of Black Wall Street. And I encourage, if you're thinking about how to contribute and give back and even how to get out there, I encourage everyone, if you're an entrepreneur or you've been doing this a while, come join us on Black Wall Street. You won't forget it.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good one.